So what we have here, guys, is my new homepage that I made. This one is for Multicultural Lit class, but both of them are built the same exact way. And we'll go to American Lit in a minute. I did add an announcement little section here, so if you click on that, you'll see new announcements pop up. And there will only be, I think, 3 at a time at the top of the page. Right now, obviously, there's just the one. But I wanted to show you what all was on here. You can go, well, let's take it to American Lit for just a second. And you'll see that that looks almost exactly the same. The one thing I did want to mention for American Lit was that some of you guys are doing one of the Multicultural Lit activities because somehow it got in your to-do list. And I don't know how it got in your to-do list, but it shouldn't be there. So if you were looking at Phil Kaye's poetry, it's a really cool poem, but you don't have to do that. Over on the right-hand side where it says to do, that's something that you don't, at least for my classes, you don't need to pay attention to. Because if you look at them, some of those things are really old. They have really old dates on them. So if there's something from, January, February that you didn't do, it's going to pop up there. Right here are the links that will take you to each different module. If you click on week 3, it takes you straight to week 3. Everything else is there also, but it shows you exactly where week 3 is. So instead of the to-do list, all you have to do is start at the top of the module and work your way through. So usually there are 2 activities. This week American Lit had 3. Because the third one was a test. Then at the top, all the time, I will keep this let me explain some things, which is just some important reminders. And I've put the date when those are posted, so you'll know when there's a new one that pops up. But if you scroll all the way down, you'll see everything here that you need. And we'll scroll back up. We can go back to the home page. And this, of course, is your American Lit. You can always click on modules and go there. Stay away from assignments. If you know what the title of the discussion is, you could click on discussions. But otherwise, if you just start from home, you should be pretty good. If you click on modules, it'll start you at the top of the page. So there you go. Okay, so I've made a little checklist for you guys for American literature for the last 3 weeks. So all the way back to the first day, which was March 16th, up to today. So on each slide, I have the activities for each week. So for week 1, you've got 2 activities. You had number 1, to explain how the poem, When I Heard the Learned Astronomer, how that poem qualifies as a romantic poem. It was a Canvas text entry. That was one of the assignments that I left an individual little comment on everybody. So if you haven't gone back into Canvas and seen that, you may want to go look at it. If you weren't sure about the answer or you didn't see the video explaining it, then I would definitely go back and look at that, especially if you haven't taken the test yet, but we'll get to that in a minute. The second activity was a Canvas quiz that was based on a very short video about romanticism, and the quiz was only 5 questions long, I think. All right, for week 2, you had 2 more activities. One was a Nearpod activity. It had an article in it and a video, but it also had a little quiz, and it was a 4-question. You could have taken it 100 times to make sure that you got a 100. So I am missing several students on that one, so make sure you go back in there and look at that. For activity 2, I had you guys look up one of 4 women who came out of the Transcendentalist movement and asked you a set of specific questions about each one of those women. For week 3, this week, you had 3 things to do. Number 1 was to join in a discussion post concerning civil disobedience and some of the quotes from that essay. Number 2 was to watch the Romanticism and Transcendentalism review video and then take notes, because as many of you know, The activity number 3 this week was to complete the test. It is only a 10-question multiple choice test, but there's a review video that you need to watch, and every answer is there. So make sure you watch that and write a few notes down before you take that test. All right, and that's the end of week 3.